This is the shop dog Macy, and she is adorable. You may see her wandering around in this episode. She's American Pit Bull Terrier mix, and she's just the cutest thing, isn't she? Hello and welcome. I'm High Lord Fox. This is High Lord Fox's garage, and we are back in the garage today. Today's project is this guy, this fella. The mirror, it just fell off. Yep, just plain old fell off. You know, reasons. Nothing to worry about. So we have to replace this again. We've got a new one in box, a proper doorman part this time. And while we're in there, we're going to mess with this guy. The door does not like to lock. So as I open it, and I hit the lock button, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Locked, unlocked, refuses to lock. So, we're going to get that fixed while we're in here. There are two screws, Phillips, located in the door handle right here. With the two screws removed, we'll make sure the door is locked so you can get over there. There are several pop-out spots. Here, down below. Once all of them are popped out, so you go ring around that way, you just lift the door out. Sometimes, like on Grand Marquis or town cars, actually have some screw holes down here or some extra screw holes. Check with your specific door panel. This model just has the two here and then the poppers all the way around. And as you take it out, make sure you slide this through, as it has all of the wiring and everything, and it will get caught and won't pull out with it. And now that you have the door successfully removed, you just take it right out. You can let this hang. Alright. And notice that even with this moved out of the way so it doesn't hit anything, it does not actuate. So that means it's down there. Next up, we're going to pull this guy off. We have to take the speaker out first. Speaker has one tab on here. You push it in, pop it out. If you have an aftermarket speaker, it'll be different, but factory speakers, single tab on the top. Pull off sound deadening. If you don't have sound deadening, you don't have to pull it off. So I'll bring the camera around a bit. But this right here is where this actuator mounts. So now that I'm holding it in place, it moves. Rivet has broken off, so we have a new one that mounts right in here. Saves me all the time and effort to actually mount the rivet or drill the rivet out, because it's just the rivet that holds it in place. I have the new one here as an example. It's supposed to mount right here. So, there is a plug on the bottom that has a latch. You get wrench your screwdriver in and pop it up like that. Then mounted in the side of this, on one of these two sides, is the wiring harness right here, mounts to the side here. So we need to use these guys to pop it apart. And at the top there's a hook that hooks into here and into here. So you disconnect all three and the fourth piece, which is already broken off, that goes here, to get this out. Okay. For this particular model, the angle was in like this. So you have to turn it, pull it all the way up, squeeze it past the bar and where the window regulator is, and then push, and it pops right out. And as you can see, it's got a nice rubber cover, supposed to keep it nice and dry with the rain. We're going to transpose this rubber cover to our new one. So after a non-insignificant amount of time fighting with it, I've realized that the new one I bought does not have sufficient clearance on the hook. So I went with the original one, as the only thing wrong with it was the broken rivet holding it to the door. It's still actuated up and down. Mounted that in, got the wiring reconnected, and got the wiring all snapped in. So I'm going to go take a nice close-in shot of what it looks like mostly reassembled. So here we have the door. We're going to go down in. This is our lock. It's got a single connector on the back. That's the latch-in point that holds this all out of the way. This is the hole in the door that this lines up to, see? And was broken on the old one. The rivet had snapped clean off. So what I'm going to do now that I have it attached, and it attaches all the way in there. You see that hook? Yeah, that hook is a pain to get into, and it's too long because it's got a little plastic piece for the old one to hook into. So either I had to snap the plastic piece off, which was not fun, and then snap it into the new one, which I couldn't get it out of the door, or you reuse the old one, which has a longer neck on the hook, which is what I did. So now that this is in place, we're going to put the new rivet in, and hopefully that everything holds. Got brand new rivet gun. Rivet goes in the rivet gun. Stick our arm in and line everything up. Rivet in the rivet gun, we line it all up. And we squeeze. Theory, we squeeze. And to fuck this one up. Brand new rivet gun. Assembled. Squeeze the rivet gun. Disconnect. I don't think this rivet's long enough. And rivet's not long enough. A bigger rivet. So, I would be putting a rivet in this right now, but apparently the biggest rivet attachment I have for my rivet gun is not big enough. So I have to go get a bigger rivet attachment up here. It's only been a couple seconds for you, but it's been a week for me. So we're going to actually get this finally mounted. Had to get one of these shipped in. Now I have a new fancy Pittsburgh brand heavy-duty two-handed riveter. Takes the 1/4 inch rivets, like so. Has a rivety collector unit. And now I can finally get the thing riveted back in place. So, I'm all gloved up, and let's get started. Really use more hands for this. And there we go. That was it. Collection. Really like this tool. It's nicer than the little Dorman one I have. Dorman one's a little bit easier to get in position, but this one is definitely a much nicer design and easier to do with the larger ones. But that's it. Rivet's in place. I'll get a nice close-up of that, but really all she wrote. Now it's not moving. So if I hit lock, I move the thing out of the way. Lock, unlock, lock, unlock, lock, unlock, lock, unlock. The door is fixed, but I still have to work on the mirror. To get at the mirror, it's actually very simple. There are three attachments and a wire. Wire connects in behind the speaker, so you remove the speaker. So I'm going to disconnect the wire. Once that wire is disconnected, I can then get to work on getting these three out. So these are 7/16 or 11 millimeter. I don't really know which, but this fits. The holes are just big enough for you to get them through because they have a mounted washer. These are nicely never seized because I just had this mirror off a couple months ago. And of course, if they fall down, you have to reach all the way the fuck in the door to get them out, like I just did. The easiest way to remove these is actually from the back side. Hold the mirror with this hand and unscrew with this one. Or reverse it if you're on the other window. Or just pull on it when they're already loose and it'll all come crashing down on you. Save you a bunch of time. You should also wait until you have all three off before wrenching your arm in there, because otherwise you have to do it twice. And if you have fat arms like me, it hurts to get it in and out. The interior is a push tab. The tab is located on the actual mirror itself. The window mount itself may come off, as you can see. You can pull this out. It might make things easier or harder depending on how it goes, but you just plug it in right here. There's your end connection. Close the door, pull the mirror out. Super easy. Unlike some vehicles, like Chrysler's, I've seen some Chrysler minivans, where this runs all the way under the dash onto there as one part. Luckily, for Ford it's in the door. And here we have our beautiful replacement. This has the puddle lamp, heated mirrors, comes with everything. It's a nice Dorman replacement part. Comes with the gap sealy thing. And when you order these, pay close attention to pin out. This one has 7 pins in a certain position. Depending on what yours may have, it may have fewer pins. A certain number of pins are required for just moving it. This, I think, is an extra pin. The heated is an extra pin or 2. So you can get ones that have fewer options and plug it in. It will still work. You just won't have all the features of it, which is kind of disappointing when you have a higher trim package like this model. So, very simple. Push it in. Make sure you pull the thread caps off. That way you can actually put the screws on, bolts on it, nuts, whatever the hell they're called. And we're mostly done. Now you just have to reconnect everything, which is a pain in the ass if you're doing it by yourself. So, surprise, I'm doing it by myself. Best bet is hook the top one because you'll have the most amount of space to work with. So, it's a nice long extension, long socket. Line it up, push it in, and start at the top thread. Now that it's started, and I dropped one of them in, pick your connectors, plug your connectors in, make sure this is out of the way of the window, connect it, and then test. Make sure it works. So we're going to go test it on the driver's side before I tighten everything down and bolt it all in place. And it moved. So I'm going to tighten everything and button it all up for now. And there we go. That's really meat and potatoes of it. So now I've got the mirror in and the door actuator remounted. I'm going to get everything put back together and hopefully we'll have a functioning door in a few moments. Okay, so we got the truck on. We have rivet in place for the door actuator. Unlock, lock, golden. Speakers back in. We have the mirror connected. 1, 2, 3 bolts. We've got the cover in place for sound deadening. The window itself goes all the way down and all the way back up. Doesn't catch on anything, doesn't hit anything, doesn't make any funny noises. Always double check your window whenever you're working inside to make sure nothing is caught in the tracks. And it's a lot easier to check it before putting everything back together. So that's pretty much it. So next piece is going to be putting the door panel in. Door panels in place. Double checking. Down, up. We're good. Window down. Window up. We're good. Make sure you latch it in from the top. It hooks like this, goes in, and then everything else just presses in place there. So the next thing is to get these 2 bolts back in place. And we're all set. The door's holding tight. Opens. Let's double check it. Unlock. Door opens. Lock. Door does not open. And the mirror does move, as I've tested that. So we are pretty much done. We've got this door all fixed. It'll pass safety inspection yet, which is coming up for this truck and my black car. So the Grand Marquis will probably be in the garage next, and I'm going to have a video on what you got to do for a safety and emissions test, specifically New York, but it'll apply to many states and many locales, and just a general check before road trips and maintenance and things like that. So that's what's going to be coming up next on the channel and in the garage. But for now, let's get this thing out of here, let's get it outside, take it for a nice car wash, and I'm going to go have myself some ice cream because it's a hot, muggy time in the day. As always, I'm High Lord Fox. This is High Lord Fox's Garage. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification icon if you want to see more from this channel when I release and upload new videos. And check out one of those videos
in case you're interested in watching something else.